Good day and welcome. You're watching St. Martin News Desk, where we bring you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond. With your anchor crew, Alston Lawrence, Glenda York, Tiziana Hart, and Mizzy with the Sunshine Report. This broadcast is brought to you by TV15 and proudly produced by Great Bay Media Studios in Phillipsburg, St. Martin. And now, let's jump straight into today's top headlines.
Suspect arrested in connection with armed robberies. Firearm and hollow point ammunition seized. The police force of St. Martin KPSM continues efforts to combat violent crime and remove illegal firearms from the streets. As part of these ongoing efforts, officers arrested a suspect on the evening of Thursday, March 12, 2026, believed to be involved in a series of armed robberies that have taken place across the island. At approximately 8:30 p.m. during a routine traffic control operation on 80 Illich Road, officers stopped a vehicle for further control. While verifying the identity of the occupant, officers discovered that the individuals was the subject of an outstanding arrest warrant. The suspect, identified by the initials MMMS, was immediately taken into custody. The individual is suspected of being involved in several armed robberies, including robbery that occurred at a hotel in the Oyster Pond area on January 16, 2026. Following the arrest, officers conducted a search of the vehicle in which the suspect had been traveling. During this search, officers discovered a firearm along with hollow point ammunition inside the vehicle. Both the weapon and the ammunition were confiscated and will form part of the ongoing centennial celebrations planned for Dr. Claude Wathey. This year marks the 100th birthday of Dr. Claude Wathey, widely regarded as the father of modern St. Martin. Born Albert Claudius Wathey on July 24, 1926, he played a pivotal role in shaping the island's economic and political development. Known affectionately by many as the Old Man, Wathey is remembered for his vision of transforming St. Martin from an isolated economy into a thriving tourism and business destination. To commemorate this centennial milestone, the Wathey family has announced plans to organize a series of memorial and educational events leading up to July 24th. Organizers say the events will celebrate Wathey's legacy while sharing his story with new generations and highlighting his contributions to the island's development. More details about the commemorative activities are expected to be announced in the coming weeks. New digitization equipment for St. Martin Museum. The St. Martin National Heritage Foundation and Museum has acquired new digitization equipment to help preserve the island's historical archives. The equipment was purchased through funding from the Mondrian Fund, allowing the museum to digitize fragile historical materials, including documents, photo film rolls, cassettes, and VHS recordings. The upgrade includes specialized scanners, new computers, audiovisual conversion equipment, and backup storage systems to safeguard important historical records. One of the first items being digitized is an original ledger from the Salt Company of St. Martin, dating back to 1859, which documents salt transportation records from 1867. Historical researcher Jean-Marc Augusti, along with volunteers, has begun the careful process of scanning the materials. Museum officials say the initiative will help protect these valuable records while making them more accessible to researchers and the public.
Hello, my people. My name is Glenda York of Sit, Sip and Chat and Moms in Paradise podcast. You can find us on TV15 St. Martin, TVC St. Kitts, and on YouTube. Reporting from Great Bay Media Studios in St. Martin, your NEWSDESK feature story is coming up. But first, here is Mizzy with the Sunshine Report.
it's Mizzy with the Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Martin, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us.
At Tellem, we believe connection goes beyond signals. It's about people. From every call, every laugh,
Hi, Merry Christmas. Thanks for calling.
every moment shared across our island,
Game time.
we're reminded this network was built by St. Martin for St. Martin.
I couldn't. Oh, I got you. Don't worry, man. We're good.
When are you coming to St. Martin?
All right, let's go. Go.
Here's to staying connected to what matters most. Your connection, your Christmas.
Stay connected to the best of local and Caribbean content anywhere, anytime with the TVC Plus app, the official app of TVC Channel 40. With the TVC Plus app, you can watch TVC Channel 40 live, catch every episode of your favorite shows on demand, watch exclusive pay-per-view content, listen to Voice of the Caribbean radio, and watch and read SKN Newsline. The TVC Plus app is available on all your devices. On the Google Play Store, search TVC and the plus sign. In the Apple App Store, type the words TVC Plus. And we're also available on the Amazon App Store for Fire TV and Fire Stick devices. Search the words TVC Plus. Download today and take TVC Channel 40 wherever you go.
All right, don't miss NEWSDESK. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. on TVC. Sing Kids to the World, now streaming everywhere. VSA Inspectorate highlights food safety concerns. The Inspectorate VSA is urging businesses and residents in St. Martin to pay closer attention to food safety practices following recent inspection findings. Through its Food Safety Division, the Inspectorate is responsible for ensuring that food prepared and sold on the island is safe for human consumption. Between June and November 2025, inspectors conducted 120 inspections of food establishments, along with 232 follow-up inspections through December. The most common violations involve temperature control, cross-contamination, cleanliness, and expired food products. Officials say supermarkets and distributors recorded the highest issues with temperature control, while buffets and food stands also showed concerns related to hygiene and food handling. The inspections are part of the CTPC project, launched in 2025, which focuses on cross-contamination, temperature abuse, and pest management. Businesses that fail to correct violations may face legal action, while the inspectorate plans to publish inspection findings quarterly to increase public awareness. Residents are encouraged to report unhygienic conditions directly to the inspectorate. Freegan launches Buy One Meal, Donate One Meal program. The Freegan Food Foundation has launched a new community initiative aimed at addressing food insecurity across St. Martin. The program, called Buy One Meal, Donate One Meal, allows residents to purchase a healthy meal for $7.50 while automatically providing a second meal to someone in need. Organizers say the initiative is designed to make community support simple and accessible, turning every meal purchased into an opportunity to help a neighbor. According to Yost de Young, the program reflects the idea that food security is not only a social change, but a shared responsibility within the community. The foundation already operates several support programs, including the Freegan Food Market and other services aimed at strengthening food security for vulnerable households. Residents interested in participating can contact the foundation directly through its community outreach channels. Regional Media Partnership expands insights to St. Martin. A new regional media collaboration will bring the television series Insights to audiences in St. Martin through a partnership between Television Caribbean TVC Channel 40 in St. Kitts and Nevis and TV 15 in St. Martin. The program, produced by TVC, features in-depth interviews with influential individuals exploring their life journeys, experiences, and contributions to their communities. As part of the new expansion, the show will now feature guests from St. Martin, bringing the island's stories and personalities to a wider Caribbean audience. Hosting the St. Martin edition of the program will be Jasenia Lazaro, who says the show will highlight the island's cultural diversity and the stories of individuals who have helped shape the community. The St. Martin edition of Insights will air Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on TV 15. Producers say the partnership represents an important step in strengthening regional media collaboration and storytelling across the Caribbean.
When we come back, we go to our in-depth feature of the day, exploring one of the island's most thought-provoking topics. That's just ahead. Stay tuned.
You know, we all talk about having rights. And yeah, we do.
We have the right to be safe.
The right to learn and get an education.
The right to speak up and be heard.
The right to dream big and build our future.
But listen, rights don't stand alone.
We also have responsibilities.
Real talk, if we want respect, we gotta give respect too.
St. Martin is our home.
So let's protect it. Keep our beaches clean, our streets clean, and show love to nature.
Healthy island, healthy future.
Our parents and guardians do a lot for us.
Let's show respect, talk to them, and listen, even when it's hard.
School prepares us for life.
So we show up, we stay focused, and we put in effort.
We want opportunities, so we work for them.
We are part of this community, every village, every culture, every neighborhood.
Let's be kind, positive, and supportive.
A stronger community starts with us.
And most importantly, we are responsible for ourselves.
We make healthy choices for our mind and body.
We believe in our goals and our voice and our future.
Our rights give us power, our responsibilities make us leaders. Together we rise.
The Convention of the Rights of the Child isn't just a policy, it's protection and responsibility. When our children learn their rights, they are better prepared to take on their responsibility. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Department of Youth.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every love, every adventure. #1 provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want it go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want it road.
Before we wrap up, we take a moment each day to check in with our neighbors across the region. There's always a story worth paying attention to. Here's today's regional headline.
Anguilla confirms first locally acquired West Nile virus case. Health authorities in Anguilla have confirmed the island's first locally acquired case of the West Nile virus after a 25-year-old resident became ill earlier this month. According to the Ministry of Health, the patient began experiencing symptoms on March 7th, including fever, headache, vomiting, and abdominal pain. Laboratory testing conducted on March 10th confirmed the infection through PCR testing. Officials say the patient had no recent travel history, indicating the virus was likely contracted locally. The individual is currently hospitalized and listed in stable condition. West Nile virus is a mosquito-borne illness primarily transmitted by infected mosquitoes, particularly those in the Culex species. The virus circulates naturally between mosquitoes and birds, which act as its main host. Humans can become infected through mosquito bites, but the virus is not transmitted from person to person. While most people infected with West Nile virus experience no symptoms or only mild illness, some may develop fever, headaches, body aches, nausea, or vomiting. In rare cases, the virus can cause serious neurological complications affecting the brain or nervous system. Regional health authorities are urging residents to remain vigilant about reducing mosquito breeding sites and protecting themselves from bites. Preventative measures include removing standing water from containers around the homes, using insect repellent, and ensuring windows and doors are properly screened. Health officials also advise anyone experiencing severe symptoms such as high fever, confusion, stiff neck, seizures to seek medical attention immediately. Meanwhile, health authorities on neighboring St. Martin say no cases have been reported locally, but monitoring efforts are ongoing while public awareness campaigns encourage residents to eliminate mosquito breeding sites and take preventative measures. Well, that's the latest from Anguilla and St. Martin in that area. Shout out to our viewers in Anguilla watching NEWSDESK. Here's an island fact. Anguilla has more than 30 beaches spread across just 16 square miles of coastline, making it one of the most beach-dense islands in the Caribbean.
Welcome back. Each day, we take a moment to go beyond the headlines and look deeper into the issues, people, and conversations shaping life here on St. Martin. Welcome to today's NEWSDESK feature.
As geopolitical tensions escalate abroad, questions are emerging about how global conflicts could ripple across the Caribbean's tourism-dependent economies. In a recent commentary, Roddy Heiliger warned that the region's reliance on international travel makes it particularly vulnerable to global shocks. According to Heiliger, the growing tensions involving the United States, Israel, and Iran represent what economists often describe as a black swan event, an unexpected geopolitical crisis capable of triggering worldwide economic consequences. While the conflict itself is thousands of miles away, the Caribbean could still feel its effects through global markets. The most immediate concern is energy. A potential disruption in the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil shipping lanes, could push global oil prices sharply higher. For Caribbean islands where tourism depends heavily on affordable international air travel, rising oil prices translate directly into higher jet fuel costs and more expensive airline tickets for travelers. That could make Caribbean vacations less affordable for visitors from key markets such as the United States and Europe. At the same time, most Caribbean islands, including St. Martin, still rely heavily on imported fossil fuels to generate electricity. Higher oil prices could therefore raise local energy costs as well, increasing utility bills for households and operational expenses for hotels and tourism businesses. International financial institutions have also raised concerns about the potential global economic impact of escalating conflicts. The IMF has warned that prolonged spikes in energy prices could weaken the fragile global economic recovery and even lead to stagflation, a period of slow economic growth combined with rising inflation. Meanwhile, the World Bank has cautioned that major geopolitical escalation could trigger a global recession. For tourism-driven economies, a recession in North America or Europe could mean fewer cruise arrivals, declining hotel occupancy, and reduced visitor spending. The writer also noted that global conflicts often affect travel behavior beyond economics. During times of heightened international tension, consumer confidence tends to fall, and potential travelers may choose domestic vacations or delay international travel altogether. The Caribbean, though geographically safe, often suffers from a general contraction in the global travel market whenever the United States enters a period of wartime footing. Roddy Heiliger wrote, "The national mood shifts from leisure and spending to caution and savings." To reduce this vulnerability, the commentary argues that Caribbean governments must accelerate long-term economic resilience strategies. Amongst the most important steps is energy diversification. Investing in renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and geothermal power could help stabilize electricity costs and reduce dependency on imported oil, an issue that directly affects tourism competitiveness. He also highlighted the importance of diversifying tourism markets. Historically, St. Martin and the Caribbean tourism has always relied heavily on visitors from the United States. Expanding travel ties with other Caribbean islands and emerging markets in Latin America could help reduce the region's exposure to economic swings in a single market. Multi-destination tourism packages, encouraging travelers to visit several Caribbean islands on one trip, could also provide greater value for tourists facing higher airfare costs. Fiscal preparedness is another key factor. Building financial reserves during strong tourism years could allow governments to cushion economic shocks during global downturns, protecting both tourism workers and essential services. Ultimately, the writer argues that while Caribbean islands cannot control global conflicts, they can control how prepared they are for the economic waves those conflicts create. The goal is to ensure that when the dust settles, the Caribbean remains not just a beautiful destination, but a stable and sustainable one. Roddy Heiliger wrote. For islands like St. Martin, where tourism remains the backbone of the economy, the message is clear. Resilience planning today could determine how well the region weathers tomorrow's global storms.
And that's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Martin News Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday at 8 a.m. on TV15 and across all our social media platforms. From all of us here at News Desk, we wish you a fantastic week ahead. Until next time, stay friendly, St. Martin.